Hey guys, I'm Michael.
And I'm CJ, and we are casting.
And such. Disney chat.
Woo!
What's happening?
We love a good bit of Disney.
We do.
Talk about Disney a lot. We watch Disney a lot. We recently went to Disney
We did.
as our summer holiday.
We went to Disneyland Paris and it was warm.
It was so
It
warm.
was very warm.
I'm surprised we didn't melt. I'm
Yeah.
surprised Michael didn't die. Michael doesn't deal well with sunshine.
Yep.
He burns in winter in Scotland. But
I think I almost came back whiter than I did when I left.
no, you definitely came back a bit pinker, but not like a burned pinker, just pinker.
Yeah.
Which is an achievement for
yeah,
you.
it's good. It's good. I just kept up with that SPF 50, yo. Gotta do it.
So much SPS 50, but it worked. You
it
only
did.
got a tiny bit of, I wouldn't even call it a burn,
I was just a little bit of sun I caught on my neck and that was it.
and that was pretty much, that was the second last day.
And the inside of my ankles.
Yeah,
That was weird.
Yeah, that was really weird, but
Well,
now
it was
you've
good.
learned.
Yeah, it was good fun anyway. It was good fun to just be at Disney.
It was good fun to be immersed fully in
Yeah.
the Disney that is Disney.
And just like meet so many characters and
Yeah.
just have fun.
There was a lot of queuing to meet characters though, which is something that we were not disappointed by, but just weren't expecting for like all of the characters.
Yeah, as I say, we expected like more characters to sort of just be roaming around the park and just sort of run into them. You know, you'd turn the corner and be like, oh, there's, whoever, like Mike and Sully or Stitch or whatever.
And the only character that happened with was Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty good. He was a good chat as well.
Do you know what he actually reminded me of though? It looked like someone who'd escaped their handler.
Yeah.
So obviously whenever characters were out and about, there was always a member, one of the like Disney cast members
Yeah.
with them. But it was just him, so it was literally like he escaped his cast member.
If any Disney character was to do that,
If anyone
it
was going to
would
escape,
have probably
yeah,
been Peter Pan.
it very much would have. But yeah, it was just him, and it was very brave of him, I must admit. He could literally have got swarmed. But like,
Yeah.
it only took a couple of minutes to actually get a quick chat with him.
There were so few people around Peter Pan.
And because, do you know what I think it was? He probably met just as many people as he would have met in a 45-minute slot and like a meet and greet. But because you were just like, you were usually walking somewhere and you'd walk around a corner and there'd be Peter Pan and there was like a little loose circle round about him, and it wasn't like he was getting hoarded. People were just like jumping in, having a quick chat, getting some pictures, stealing a little autograph, and then moving on, because you weren't waiting like 45 minutes to an hour in a queue to meet them. So you felt like it seemed right to just have a quick like
Yeah.
hi and bye.
Yeah.
His chat was really good.
It was pretty good.
He was Peter Pan.
Yeah.
That was Peter Pan we met. That wasn't somebody dressed as, that was Peter Pan we met.
It was. It's really good when you get the character that sort of like gives you the chat. Like
Absolutely.
Aurora. Aurora gave us decent chat.
Princess Aurora's chat in the Princess Pavilion was absolutely fantastic.
Yep. She knew her situation.
Heck yeah. She had some good chat.
Yeah.
However, enough about Disneyland. We're making everyone jealous.
I know. Let's talk more about Disney.
Let's. So there's so much we could talk about Disney.
But we got to narrow it down.
We do. What we probably shouldn't tell you is that we had recorded a 45-ish minute episode,
Rough.
only to discover that we hadn't switched the recording onto the mic, and it was only going through Michael's laptop.
So it sounded terrible.
It sounded absolutely awful, bless his poor little overworked laptop. So we scrapped that
Yes.
and are rediscussing.
we're doing it again.
But that's actually worked in you guys' favour. Maybe not our favour, because all I can say is that the path of that conversation was about as structured as our brains.
Yeah.
And that we covered so many things that were so unrelated.
Well, there was kind of like, it wasn't so much like random tangents, but like we did sort of like,
There was a lot of random
there
tangents.
were random tangents. It wasn't planned at all. But we do sort of have our own sort of like, we've got a list now of, what kind of stuff we're going to talk about.
We say a list, it's more just,
Topics.
yeah. Please stick to this vague vein
Please-
of conversation.
Please refer to list.
Yeah. But it probably won't happen. We'll end up discussing loads of random things. You
We'll-
guys can let us know which you prefer. Do you prefer something a little bit more structured, or do you prefer it when there is zero structure?
Yeah, we could really like just ad-lib this stuff and just go for it.
I don't know
But-
whether you guys would enjoy that though. It's like a tour of our
That's
brains.
down to you guys.
But we will start this the same way that we started the previous one,
Yes,
which is
indeed.
with my question. Michael, who's your
Mhm.
favourite Disney character?
Darth Vader.
Oh, that's not the answer that he gave earlier, because he
It's not.
forgot that Star Wars was Disney now.
Yes, I did. But no, I'm not really allowed to do. Star Wars is, we're going to class that differently, even though Disney now does own Star Wars.
It is Disney,
It
but
is. But I'm not allowed to use Darth Vader. So
It's not that you're not allowed to.
I shouldn't.
Tell you what, well, why don't we go with
No,
classic
no,
Disney animated?
It's good. Yeah, it's good. Aladdin, probably Aladdin,
Okay.
because a lot of the other princes, because they're not really a prince at that point.
No.
A lot of the other princesses. A lot of the other princes.
Aladdin is a pretty princess.
He is. He wishes. A lot of the other princes, either save their princess through romance or through power. Like Philip slays a dragon. Prince Charming finds Cinderella and gives her the shoe, which should have turned into a mouse. But let's not get into that. But Aladdin outsmarts his villain. He outsmarts Jafar. Like, he was never going to have the physical strength to beat him, because you couldn't use physical strength against that.
Because he's magic.
Because he's magic, yeah. So he really needed to outsmart him. But how do you outsmart like the greatest sorcerer in the world? You make him wish he had more power. And yeah, he got it. So yeah, I think Aladdin was pretty good in that he outsmarted Jafar.
I'm surprised you didn't pick a Disney villain as your favourite character. Because you love a villain.
I do, I really do.
In fact, I would say 3,000% of the time you prefer villains to the good guys.
So much. I literally have the Imperial crest on my arm as a brand.
He knelt before Darth Vader.
I did. I met Darth Vader and I
He
kneeled.
basically proposed to Darth Vader.
Yeah. He is my lord. But no, Aladdin's pretty good. I do like Jafar. I like Maleficent. There was another one I said before.
Dr. Facilier.
Dr. Facilier. I really like Dr. Facilier, mainly because of Keith Davids.
There we go.
That's the actor. We got his name wrong before.
No, what we did was we couldn't remember it, so we were like, David? Keith Davids.
Yes.
His name's not David.
What about you?
So it's really, really easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
For Michael, it's a bit more difficult trying to narrow it down to favourite character. But for me, it has always been and will always be Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Yep.
3,000%. Nobody can tear Stitch away from me. He hits me in the feels.
Yep.
He's adorable. He's sassy. He starts off as a bad character. Like, he is naughty. He is a little pain in the butt.
Yep.
But it just goes... But. I need to stop saying but.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you what can happen in the right situation.
Yeah.
He was created to be purely evil, and yet he turns out to be a good guy. And then there's that one scene with the little ducklings, and then he's all like, I'm alone, and then everybody cries, and I cry too much at that movie.
Yeah, you too. Lilo and Stitch was a good film.
It was a very good film.
Very good film. And there's a very sort of close-knit group of characters.
Yes.
And, they all sort of help each other's situation. Particularly, obviously, the main ones of like your Lilo, Stitch, Nanny, and David. They're all sort of there as
They're a good little family.
They're their own family. It's not much, but it's good.
Oh, too sad. But Lilo and Stitch used to be one of your favourite movies when you were little.
It did. I really liked Lilo and Stitch. I don't know what made it it's not really slipped down. I do still really love it. It is considered a favourite. But yeah, I used to, whenever I went to Disneyland before, I got, it was all Stitch merch. I got so much Stitch stuff.
I think as well because it's a really good movie that it's not like a princess movie, so it only appeals to young girls. Like, obviously they don't. There's plenty of young boys out there who love, like, Sleeping Beauty and the princess movies, and the princesses are their favourite characters, and it should always be that you can have whatever favourite character. You don't have to be a little girl to like a princess or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like Lilo and Stitch has always been one where, because you have a main character who is a little blue alien, like, it's really easy for younger, impressionable boys to be able to safely say that that's one of their favourite movies.
Yeah,
and also, who doesn't love a little, evil, adorable, fluffy blue alien?
Yeah, exactly. I like the bit where he rolls himself up in a ball.
Yeah.
And just rolls around.
Yes.
Pretty good.
I like the bit where he's trying to be Godzilla.
Yeah.
And they're like, no more coffee for you.
Yeah.
Or is it no more coffee before bedtime?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
I do
good
love
anyway. I like Stitch.
He is. He is one of my all-time favourites. Favourite princess?
Aurora.
Yeah.
She doesn't do anything. Like, ever. She's just there, and then, because her dad's worried, she's like, go live in the forest with these strange women.
She's brought up by fairies, though.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
And she dances with an owl in a cloak.
She's another one who's like very much one with the animals. They do love her.
She's very pretty.
She is. She is beautiful.
Yeah.
To the point where in Disneyland, Michael earned his first slap from me.
Yeah.
Because I said that Princess Aurora was prettier than I am, and he agreed with me.
Yeah.
Which he's not supposed to, but I wasn't actually mad at him, obviously, because it is true. Princess Aurora is beautiful. She is absolutely stunning. My favourite Disney princess, however, is Belle.
Yes.
It is not Aurora.
Of course. Because she was... I guess it's the sort of like personal relation
It is.
between yourself and Belle. She's like...
The little outcast weirdo bookworm.
Yeah, I was going to say book smart, but it's not book smart. She's just a bookworm. She enjoys reading a lot, and she's very different to everyone else, different to the people that surround her.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
But no, that was...
very good-natured.
Yes, very much so. And... yeah, she just loves a good book.
Yeah.
And doesn't like a bully.
No,
which
exactly.
is me.
Which is exactly what Gaston is.
Evil man.
Yeah.
So we've got our favourite Disney characters and our favourite Disney princesses. Who is your favourite villain, Michael? Pick one.
Pick one, no!
You can tell us the thought process and the eliminations, but I want one.
I don't wanna.
You gotta.
Alright.
Right. You think,
Mm-hmm.
I will tell the people.
talk
Because mine's, again, very easy. It's Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove. She is my evil alter ego. She looks fantastic in pink sequins, and I don't care how ugly she looks with a face mask on and cucumbers over her eyes. She is fabulous. She's very much into science, and I don't blame her for wanting to kill Cusco. He was an annoying little brat.
Yeah.
She, in her words,
raised him.
yes, I practically raised him. And he fired her. Admittedly, she didn't need to try poison and kill him, and she did have that evil streak where she was trying to take over and become the evil empress. But at the same time, I can see why she was hurt and offended by his actions.
Yeah. Right.
Now for the difficult bit.
Maleficent.
Oh, he's called it. He's called it. Right, talk us through your thinking.
Woman in power.
Oh, we loves a good woman in power.
Woman in a position of power.
Okay.
Strong female characters. It's just that she very much emanates power. And, like, her subordinates just follow her. Like, she's just got this army of willing, followers, and she just, like, even when she turns up in front of King Stefan, is it?
Yeah.
She turns up in front of King Stefan. Stefan's not like, guards, kill her now, and all the other people aren't like, draw their sword. Everyone is afraid of Maleficent.
They know that she is an evil fairy.
Exactly.
Evil in inverted commas.
Yes. And
what else is she, Michael?
a dragon.
Yeah.
She's a dragon, and I love dragons.
Michael is a dragon.
I wish I was a dragon.
That's why this cupboard is so cramped, because there's little old me and there is a giant full-grown dragon that is Michael.
Brr. I'm a dragon. I wish I was a dragon. I really do. But no, the fact that she could become a dragon and make those evil thorns out front, and she breathes green fire, so cool. Our colour scheme is amazing. The black, purple and green works amazingly well.
Very solid colour scheme.
And it's because it's not even like, it could have been a dark green, that wouldn't have worked really well, but it's because it's that bright green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just good. Jafar was the close second because he's just a psycho.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's so psychotic. And just the bit at the end of the film where he obviously gains his powers, it becomes Sultan and the sorcerer and the genie. How he just obviously emanates the power.
Yes.
And he's just... his voice as well. How he screams at them, if you won't bow before a Sultan, you'll cower before a sorcerer. Oh, that line gives me goosebumps.
Do you know what I really like? And I think it very much echoes your thoughts of how he is just a straight up psycho. See that evil cackle he does at the end of the Prince Ali reprise?
Yeah.
It's just so maniacal.
Yeah.
Like it's wicked.
Yeah.
It is really, really wicked.
Yes.
And up until then, he's been very reserved and very silver-tongued and very, like, suave, and then that's when
He's really
he
able to show
snaps
himself.
in his voice.
Yeah.
There's something about that laugh, but yeah, I think it fits in with his psychotrope that you've given him.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about your favourite villain death?
Oh, Dr. Facilier.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And when I, like, a couple of years ago, when I was doing this, like, Instagram tag, when I thought I was really cool, and it was like a month of Disney, and you had to post a picture,
Yeah.
and there was like different categories. One of them was your favourite villain death, and that's what I put as mine, and it stands.
Yeah.
Purely because there's little voodoo doll things that are beating those tiny drums, and they're so floppy and cute, but also a bit evil.
Yes.
Which isn't the main reason it's my favourite Disney death, it's just a nice aside. But one of the main reasons I like it is he brings that upon himself fully.
Yeah.
That's all his actions coming back to bite him in the butt.
Yeah.
Obviously, most Disney villain deaths are because of their own actions, if you want to look at it that way. But it is literally because he has been messing with voodoo.
Yeah, he's been sort of like, he had a lot of trust put in him by his friends on the other side, and they were like, well, you haven't delivered on what you said you would, so you got to pay a price, and the price was a soul.
Yes, and also the little "Are You Ready" song, and how desperate he sounds.
Yeah, he's just not, like, all the other Disney villains are just like, curse you, but he's like, no, I'm literally not ready to go.
Yeah.
I can do something else, I can do this, I can do that. And it sort of alludes itself to the whole, like, when you first meet him, he is a scammer, and it's almost like he's
trying to scam his way out of his death.
Yeah, he's not necessarily, like, homeless or anything like that, but it's kind of like he's begging.
Yeah.
Still, from the very start to the very end, he's begging for more, for something that's not his.
Yeah. And he is the type of villain where, although it is an aspiration for power, it's more like, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it, like, he is scraping his way up to the top with this, like, life ambition.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't obviously start out being powerful, and he is only powerful because he's having to rely on others.
Yeah.
Which makes him just seem a bit more desperate.
Yeah.
So having such a desperate ending, it fits. I like it.
He's the kind of person that, like, if you were standing in a queue and he came up behind you, he'd very much, if you were a friend of his, he'd go, oh, hey, how you doing? Shake your hand, start talking with you. The whole time, he's turning you around so that you're then behind him and he's in front of you in that queue.
And not so he can pay for your larger shop.
No.
Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of his death. I think it's very well done. I like the bit of music that surrounds it. I like the way it happens. It also helps that he dies right after he kills one of my favourite characters in that movie that I was very sad about him killing.
Yeah,
he literally cold-heartedly squishes little Ray.
Yeah.
He done laid poor Ray low.
Done laid to pay.
So yeah, the fact that happens not long after he kills him, I'm just like, good. I wanted you to die.
Yeah.
In the nicest way I possibly can. So what about you? Favourite villain death?
I don't really know.
You're not a fan of killing your favourite characters?
No. Well, that's the thing, like, I don't like the way Maleficent dies.
Because she gets stabbed.
Yeah. Jafar
Jafar
doesn't really die. It doesn't die until the second movie.
Yeah, that's true.
But
do you like the fact that he doesn't die?
No. Like, I like that he gets outsmarted, and it is obviously just much better because then it leaves itself open, but it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Clayton?
Clayton was a pretty good one because then he obviously...
Very violent and scary death.
It's another one where he brings it on himself.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she's sort of like up in the trees and even Tarzan's trying to save him.
Yeah, he is cutting the vines like...
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm going to kill you and I'm going to kill all those apes and stuff like that. And Tarzan's like, stop what you're doing right now or you will die. And Clayton's like, no!
Direct quote from the movie.
Yes.
That wasn't Michael saying no, that was a sound clip.
Yeah, it was. Clayton was a pretty intense one.
Pretty gruesome.
Same kind of one as Scar.
Yeah.
Scar's very similar again with Dr. Facilier. He basically like says to the hyenas, oh, you'll have all of this, but then doesn't deliver to them.
And then he calls them idiots. And they don't like that.
not at all. I'm trying to think of what other like Disney villains. Rourke, Commander Rourke in Atlantis.
His is pretty messed up.
Pretty violent.
Yeah.
Because he ends up getting turned into that weird, howly, screechy, blue, evil
Diamond crystal thing.
And then he gets shoved into a fan.
Yeah.
Or a blade thing. And he just sort of explodes. And I kind of feel it's the same sort of satisfying thing. Because, like, you've brought so much trouble to everyone.
Yes.
You deserve what you're about to get.
Mm-hmm.
Ursula.
Okay.
Ursula's kind of a good one. Because she's very much like... I don't know. Because she's so colossal and huge, it seems like such a big feat to actually defeat her. And because that ship gets driven through her stomach, that just seems like... You know, it's... Yeah, you did it. You beat her. I don't know. Villain deaths to me is a weird one.
So you can't pick a favourite?
No, I couldn't really. Wouldn't even really say Gaston's death was that satisfying. Yeah, especially in the new film as well. He just sort of falls.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, bye.
Bye.
I don't know. Least favourite villains?
Oh, this is a topic we've discussed at length before. Why don't you tell us your least favourite villain?
My least favourite villain?
Yeah.
Did I pick one before?
I don't know if you ever have.
No, because I like villains.
You do?
You know what's... I was thinking just there of a least favourite villain. And it's kind of... She's a villain, but not much happens to her.
Okay.
Lady Tremaine.
Yeah? Uh-huh.
Because, like, I get that she's a villain. I get that she's the villain. And she basically just stands there while... was it Grisella and... Or Drizella and...
Drizella and Anastasia.
Drizella and Anastasia basically tear Cinderella's clothes apart. You know, I get that she just sort of stands there and lets that happen. Yeah, she's not a good person, but, like, she doesn't necessarily do anything to Cinderella. She always just lets stuff happen.
She abuses her as a child.
Well.
And as an adult.
Yeah. But, like, we see less of that.
Yeah.
On screen, and like, I get it's the sort of like the horrible parent kind of vibe. She also doesn't die; she just gets a comeuppance.
Yeah.
She just sort of feels less impressive as a villain.
I don't know. I think she's pretty villainous.
Yeah.
She fits in with my theme of least favourite villains.
You know who I don't like?
Who?
Cruella de Vil.
There you go.
Because she's ready to hurt puppies, and we're not about that.
Nope. We're not about people hurting people either.
But when you mess with animals...
Especially
sorry, you wouldn't have seen that. I raised a fist.
He shook his fist at the microphone.
No, people who are ready to mess with animals, that's not cool. It's not good.
Because they're defenceless.
Yeah.
Well, they're not, but puppies are.
Yeah.
Puppies just want to be loved.
Yeah, but she gets outsmarted.
By puppies, which means she's stupid.
Yeah.
Right, so on to my rant about my least favourite Disney villains.
Here we go.
So it's not even so much that they're the least favourite, but they are. But it's that they're... Shut up. Michael's like shaking his head at me. I'm going to explain what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to make unsensible statements and then move on. So it's not that they're my least favourite, but they are my least favourite because they're the scariest. And I know a villain should be scary, but I don't just mean like ooh, look at her, she's a magic dragon. Or, oh, she's a scary villain like Maleficent. They're actually just terrifying because it's people, well, straight off it's Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Because there's no magic in him, it's just that he is someone in a position of power who is corrupt and evil and genuinely hurts others and thinks that he is in the right.
Abusive and manipulative of his power.
But there's no magic there. There's no, mystical magical powers or anything like that. It's just a person abusing their power and doing just as much damage as someone like Jafar could have with his magic, or Maleficent.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah.
Because I'd say more people get hurt by people like Frollo and Gaston and Lady Tremaine and...
Yeah. Well,
people, and Clayton as well, actually.
Yeah. He even sort of says himself that he's straight up ready to burn down Paris.
Yep.
To, like, find
Esmeralda. Yeah. He literally says, I'll find her if I have to burn down all of Paris, because he's got a weird obsession with the gypsy, who he wants to convert to be his own personal plaything, basically. Yeah. As we find out about in Hellfire. And that's the thing as well. He doesn't see it as him being in the wrong there. He knows that he shouldn't like her, but he blames her. Yeah. It's not his fault that he's got this perverse obsession with her. It's her fault.
Yeah.
He is pure and perfect in his own eyes. But especially in the climate that we're in now, where there's obviously been a lot of stories with people in similar positions to him coming out with, you know, stories of how they are abusive and bad things that are happening. It just goes to show how real he is, and that's why people like him are so scary, because they're so real. And as a child watching that, you can't even reason it away with, oh, but it's just magic, it's just a Disney movie, because there are real monsters like that in the world. And the same with people like Gaston. Like, there are evil people like they're out that who think that, you know, other people are things that they can have and control, and they are in the right in anything that goes against them. Like, he literally got a girl's dad thrown in a loony bin.
Yeah.
Because she wouldn't marry him.
Yeah.
Like, that's scary. Those are dangerous places.
Yeah.
He was willing to put some slightly eccentric inventor into a place where he would literally get tortured to within an inch of his life.
Yeah. Because
Belle wouldn't marry him. Like, that's messed up.
Yeah.
He locks Quasimodo away in a tower because he's slightly physically disfigured. Like, it bamboozles me and it terrifies me, because there are people like that out there, and Disney did a really good job presenting them.
Yeah.
But also it really annoys me because Hellfire is one of my favourite songs in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's not my favourite, but it's one of, just because it's so powerful and creepy.
Yeah. And I've sort of said the same with another character, Governor Ratcliffe.
Yes.
Even though I've not really seen Pocahontas in a long time, and I can't remember anything about it, just Governor Ratcliffe, the whole, you know, even from watching the video for Savages,
yes,
like, you learn that he's just like, right, this is what happens when, you know, the races are combined, this is what happens. And
I mean, he literally calls the Native Americans, like, filthy little heathens.
Yeah.
Like, he's another one that fits in that category of messed up human who we've seen people like him.
And he's also, he's in that position of power once again, where he's basically like, see what happens, they've captured John, let's kill them all and get John back.
And that's not because he has any, you know, genuine fear or concern about John. That's just because it furthers his interests.
It's greed.
He's like, if I kill the Native Americans, then...
And it's all... What really gets me is obviously, like, the two sides are sort of mirrored in the song Savages. Because Governor Ratcliffe goes, they're different from us, that means they must be evil.
Yeah.
Whereas the Native Americans say they're different from us, that means they can't be trusted. Because obviously, like, with the Native Americans, I don't have much knowledge on them, but there's all the different tribes, and because it's all close connections, it's all based on building a society of trust with one another and learning to basically work together, you know, not essentially kill each other.
Yeah.
But then
the first thing that they see of the settlers is
they come across the
one of them literally kills one of their, like, soon-to-be chiefs.
Yeah, and it's also like...
They've got...
You know,
boomsticks.
Yeah, the paleface, as they're called, the white men would just come across and be like, welcome, we bring you such wonderful gifts, trust us. And then, you know, Native Americans would be like, okay, we've been living pretty well so far, but sure, if you're giving us things. And then they just get rid of that trust instantly. But the Native American, or not the Native Americans, Governor Ratcliffe, he's like, no, we got to take this land. This is our land now, which it shouldn't be.
He is. He's a pretty evil dude. He definitely fits in with that.
Yeah.
With that trope of
too real.
Being a bit too real, which makes him a bit too scary.
Yeah.
I do like his pug though. His pug and Miko become friends.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because like at the end of it, Percy's got his little like cape on and his little feather at the back of his hair, and Miko's got the hat on.
Yeah, not really seen Governor Ratcliffe's death.
Well, I don't know if because he doesn't die, because they tie him up and put him in a boat and ship him back to the New World.
Oh, right, yeah.
No, not the New World. They're in the New World. They ship him back
to Europe.
They ship him back to Britain.
Yeah. If he makes it or not is a different story.
True that.
So yeah, what do we go for next?
Well, we've talked a lot about characters, so we could probably mention some like underrated characters, because I have a lot of opinions about a lot of things. Sometimes I have too many opinions, but
underrated characters. Well, we'd even go with the underrated films. But are there underrated characters in films we've discussed so far?
Yes.
Go on.
Nanny in Lilo and Stitch.
Nanny and David, I'd say.
Yeah.
Nanny more so because like she does a lot.
She deals with so much.
Yeah.
She is a big sister who has literally had to take care of her little sister and her weird blue alien dog thing while supporting them, as she basically becomes a single mother to her little sister.
Yeah.
And she has to support them, so she has to find jobs to pay for it. She supports Lilo in all her weird habits. You know, she keeps her going to her dancing.
Yep.
I mean, Lilo's not exactly paying to get all those photos of fat people printed. It'll be Nanny that's giving her the money to do that, realistically. You know, she gets her a dog.
Yeah.
She's not perfect, because she's human, and she's still kind of a kid herself.
Yeah, she's a very young woman.
But she supports Lilo to be exactly who she wants to be. She doesn't try and make her more, in inverted brackets, normal.
Yeah.
Like, she's just being a human and trying to deal with all her own crap. And she's old enough to remember her parents a lot better than Lilo will have, because Lilo's still very young, so she'll be able to like idolise them. And obviously it's upsetting being that young and not having your parents. But like, Nanny will have been old enough to have got to know her parents as individuals, and then for them to die and her to have to deal with that, and with the thought of like her and her little sister getting split up.
Yeah.
And she'll have taken that quite hard, because in theory, Lilo would have been getting taken off her, because in the eyes of others, she's not doing enough.
Yeah.
Where she's literally working herself to the bone and trying to do the best that she can.
Yeah. She is a big sister.
She is the best big sister.
She is.
She's the most real big sister.
Yeah.
And I think she's a very underrated character, and I don't think she gets enough love for being a badass.
Yeah.
She is the proper definition of a badass.
Yeah.
She encourages her little sister to like Elvis and take photos of fat people, because that's what her little sister loves doing. She lets her little sister keep a blue alien dog thing.
Yeah. When she knows it's probably going to cause trouble.
Yeah.
Which it does.
Because she knows that that's what her little sister needs.
Yeah, it's what she wants.
Yeah.
On a kind of similar thing, I kind of like David.
Yeah.
Just because he's very much like still trying to keep a smile on all their faces and stuff like that the whole time. And obviously, like, Nanny's going through quite a bit, trying to keep
her family together.
Yeah, keep the family together. And David sort of comes along every so often, and he's just like, listen, let's just chill out. Let's just have a little bit of fun while we can, and sort of put some smile on people's faces. And that's kind of good.
Yeah.
To be able to do that.
Bit of comic relief.
Yeah.
But it's not...
It's not comic relief. It's just...
That's what pleebly is. Pleaky. Pleebly?
Pleekly.
I can't remember.
Pleekly.
Pleaky.
Yeah, Pleakley's the comic relief, but
at the same time, David's like, the real life, this is what comic relief actually is.
Yeah, just sort of giving everyone a bit of a laugh, which is kind of what I like to do in, things I say. As I said before, 90% of the things I say hope to, like, get a laugh or make no sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That is you. Any other underrated characters you can think of, though?
Oh, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if there would be any in Mulan, but there's not really. Because they're all so close.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that there's underrated characters in Mulan.
No.
Apart from maybe the Gran. But everyone loves the Gran.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like, everyone loves the characters in Mulan.
Is there underrated character? I'm trying to think so hard of any underrated characters. But they even just tie, as I say, it ties to the underrated films themselves.
Okay, go for your underrated film picks then.
Right. There's the 3 that I mentioned, but one of them again wasn't very great, and that was Basil, the Great Mouse Detective.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad film, I just think it's a little bit underrated, and because everything's so small, like, because obviously they're all mice and rats, it feels small as well. It doesn't feel much bigger than it is, and you don't get that sort of feeling that, like, Rattigan's big plan is to do something, like, terrible, but you don't get the feeling of it being that terrible because they're all so small.
You know what is terrible about it?
What's that?
Stupid fake Scottish accent of that mouse child.
Yes,
Whatever her name is.
Whatever it was meant to be.
It's awful. It
Yeah.
is truly awful.
I'm trying to think of the other... Oh, Atlantis, The Lost Empire.
Yeah.
Atlantis is a very underrated film. Because it had a good voice cast, had a fairly solid plot, and just good characters in general. Like, it, covered a lot of the race grounds as well.
Yeah.
You had your Italian guy, your black guy, your French guy, your Latina woman,
Yes.
and what was the other? I swear I had the Black Cauldron. The characters in it weren't amazing, but the Black Cauldron has one of the scariest villains ever in the Horned King. The Horned King looks terrifying.
He is, he was genuinely scary.
He's a little bit scary.
He's not in it much, but he's dark.
Yeah.
He's really dark. For a Disney movie especially. It's a very dark movie, to be fair.
It is
but
a little bit, yeah. He's very dark, and he's very menacing, and you just sort of feel scared around him. You feel the chill of being in his castle.
Yeah.
Just while watching the film, you sort of look at it and you're like, oh, I can hear the dripping, I can feel the cold stone, and then you just look at him and you just want to run away.
Yeah.
I would anyway.
Oh, I absolutely would.
Yeah.
People are genuinely scared of the Horned King. It's kind of like with Maleficent.
Yeah.
Like, you know that they're powerful, and they've not even really shown you much of how they're powerful.
Yeah.
But because everyone else is so scared of them, like, they've not mounted a massive attack and an army to go and kill him. They're like, we'll just try keep out of his way and hope that he doesn't come up with a dastardly plan.
Yeah, no other villain really also built an army of skeletons. That's some Jason and the Argonauts stuff right there.
Some scary stuff right there is what that is.
Yeah. I think it was Jason and the Argonauts.
I think so.
Or was it Clash of the Titans? No, it might have been Jason and the
No,
Argonauts.
I think it was Jason and the Argonauts.
One of those old films like that anyway. There was an army of skeletons. But yeah, Horn King raises an army of skeletons, and it's scary.
Good conclusion.
Yes.
Horned King is scary because he did raise an army of skelly-mans.
Skelemans.
So yeah.
What about yourself? Underrated films?
Underrated films. I feel like I would agree with the ones that you've said.
Yes.
I'm trying to think though about actual underrated films other than Lilo and Stitch, because I don't think enough people love Lilo and Stitch. But again, I love it a bit too much. So I get that. Alice in Wonderland, but then a lot of people do like Robin Hood.
Yeah, Robin Hood's a really good
Robin
one.
Hood and
Emperor's New Groove. Do a lot of people particularly watch Emperor's New Groove?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Robin Hood.
Yeah.
And maybe The Sword and the Stone. But I think the reason I like Sword and the Stone so much is because I never really watched it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I will have watched it. It was one thing my parents were really good at, was making sure that I was very much kept up to date with all the Disney.
Yeah.
But I feel like I didn't really appreciate it until I was older, and I don't know if it was because Archimedes the owl spoke to me once I was an adult and I was grumpy enough to get him.
Yes.
But also I feel like Merlin as well, I never really got how odd but magical he was until later on, and like Mad Madam Mim as well. Like, I feel like I couldn't appreciate the characters enough as a kid. I felt like I appreciated them more when I was an adult.
Yeah.
But I don't think enough people...
What else is quite funny is you never really sort of... Obviously, the tale of King Arthur is a very grand tale.
Yes.
But this film doesn't make it out to be very grand.
No, because it's Lil Wart.
Yeah, because it's just young Arthur.
It's good.
You know what his colour scheme kind of reminds me of?
What?
Rupert. Do you remember Rupert the Bear?
Yes.
Yeah, his colour scheme kind of reminds me of that. Just with like the yellow cloak or the red cloak and the yellow scarf.
Yeah. So yeah, that and Robin Hood.
Robin Hood was really good.
But I don't know if the reason that's so underrated is because there are more grand live action retellings of the Robin Hood story.
Yeah, but...
Both from a comedy point of view and from a serious point of view.
Yeah, there was... What was it, the two? ones. There was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves,
Mm-hmm.
Robin Hood Men in Tights,
Yes.
and there was Robin Hood with Russell Crowe.
Yeah, we'll not talk about that one.
No,
I'm not as into that one.
Wasn't great.
So yeah.
But the old animated Robin Hood was really good. They did reuse a lot of the animation, but we can let them off with it because it was early days.
Yeah.
They reused a lot of the animation in Aristocats as well.
Yeah.
But Robin Hood was good. It was just good fun.
Yeah.
And a lot of the characters were very silly, because it was like an old animated film. Like you had your Prince John as well, who was just like, oh, he was the villain, and it's very much like, God, just get him, and he was always sucking his thumb. So you're like, this villain's not anything to worry about.
So you did get the comedy relief and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I think we should call it there.
Yeah.
I think that's enough chat about Disney for the poor listeners' ears.
Oh, for now. For now.
For now.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. Insert threatening noise.
If only for now.
Oh, Muppets. That's another Disney thing we never touched on.
I mean, that was Avenue Q. But,
oh yeah, but the Muppets.
But yeah.
You've
Muppets.
reminded me of the Muppets.
Yes. We can
Given
always
that
just-
it's a puppet-themed musical theatre
Muppets
show.
is always another thing we can discuss like another day, another episode.
Absolutely. So please feel free to comment below. Just some of your opinions on some of the things we've discussed. Maybe your favourite characters, your favourite villains.
Yeah, if there's any like specific films or any kind of specific area of Disney you want us to talk about, just let us know.
Because we love a good excuse to chat about Disney.
Oh heck yeah.
And yeah.
I don't have anything more to say, do you?
No.
Okay. Well, I've been Michael.
And I have been CJ, and we have been casting.
And such.
Bye bye.
See ya.